Morning students, welcome back to our channel Subhashri at the Tech Guide. Today we are discussing completely interview questions in the Python. So the basic concepts of the Python, even the looping structures, we have discussed some string functions and many more regarding the Python. We have started the Python classes, right? సో ఈ పైథాన్ క్లాసెస్ అన్ని బేసిక్ నాలెడ్జ్ అంతా మీరు ఇక్కడ నేర్చుకుంటున్నారు. ఒక సైడ్ ఏంటి అంటే మనం నాలెడ్జ్ అంతా నేర్చుకుంటూ ఉంటే ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ అయిపోతాయి కదా. సో ద స్టూడెంట్స్ హూ ఆర్ మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ ద ఇంటర్వ్యూ, దోస్ హూ ఆర్ అటెండింగ్ ఫర్ ద ఇంటర్వ్యూ, చాలా మంది కమెంట్స్ చేశారు ప్లీజ్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ క్వశ్చన్స్ పెట్టండి అని. సో మన కాన్సెప్ట్ చెప్తున్నాం, అఫ్ కోర్స్ క్లాసెస్ జరుగుతున్నాయి, బట్ స్పెషల్ క్లాస్ ఓన్లీ డిస్కసింగ్ అబౌట్ ద ఇంటర్వ్యూ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆఫ్ పైథాన్ చేద్దాం. ఓకే, ఇందులో బేసిక్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్, స్ట్రింగ్స్, కంట్రోల్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్, నెక్స్ట్ ఎక్స్ట్రా కొంచెం ఉంటుంది విచ్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ as లాంబ్డా ఫంక్షన్స్. ఆ ఫంక్షన్స్ మనం ఇంకా రెగ్యులర్ గా చెప్పుకోలేదు, కానీ లాంబ్డా ఫంక్షన్స్ ఆర్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ దోస్ స్టూడెంట్స్ హూ ఆర్ అటెండింగ్ ద ఇంటర్వ్యూ. అందుకే ఇది ఒక్క కాన్సెప్ట్ మీకు రెగ్యులర్ గా మన క్లాసెస్ చూసే వాళ్ళకి తెలియకపోవచ్చు, కానీ వెరీ సూన్ నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ మనం ఫంక్షన్స్ కే వెళ్ళిపోతాం కాబట్టి ఇది కూడా మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. సో ఈ క్లాస్ లో మనం కంప్లీట్ గా ఇవన్నీ డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం అండ్ విచ్ ఆర్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ ద ఇంటర్వ్యూస్. ఓకే, ఈ క్వశ్చన్స్ అన్ని మీరు నేర్చుకొని అర్థం చేసుకోగలిగితే ఐ హోప్ యూ కెన్ క్రాక్ ద ఇంటర్వ్యూ వెరీ ఈజీలీ. ఓకేనా? బట్ వితౌట్ ఎనీ డిలే లెట్ us స్టార్ట్ ద క్లాస్. We may discuss about the basic data types of the Python. Next, OOPS concepts using the Python. In the OOPS concept, especially some principles are there in the Python. So we go further and we use some string handling functions also. While using the string handling functions, I will explain without function and with function. So there are some interview questions like if you are using a string function that is predefined built-in function, how will be the program? If you are not using the predefined function, how can we write the program? There is a difference. So we learn that one. And the control statements, a sample control statement like if, while, and for. Okay. Next, we go for the functions in the Python, that is built-in functions. And mostly we discuss here a difference between list, tuples, and the dictionaries. This is very important concept of the Python. Next, we go for some special data types are designed. So we discuss about some special data types in the Python and the lambda functions and what are the list comprehensions. How can we use the list values? Okay. Here, the question that is the classes here is specially how can a Python interview questions can be handled for the basic level. So we go further today. Okay. Good morning, students. Welcome back to our channel Subhashri at the Tech Guide. Today we are discussing a special concept in Python. Okay, that special concept is a Python with interview questions. So the most topic we are discussing at first is the basic data types in the Python because it plays major role in the Python and many interview questions can be asked using the basic data types. So we discuss about basic data types in the Python at first. Secondly, the topic 2 is OOPS concept. As a Python, we can make it as OOPS, that is object-oriented programming and structure. So we discuss some concept regarding the OOPS also. Next, the most important one is the string handling functions. Okay, the string handling functions will also play a major role. In the previous class, I have discussed what are the string modules, how can we use it. But at the interview point of view, how can we establish the string handling functions? We see it first. Next, we go for the control statements and the functions. Okay. Next, special data types are there in the Python. We go further. After that, a lambda functions and some list of comprehensions. Okay. All these topics I'm covering today, but only as an interview point of view. I'm not going to discuss it very deeply. I will discuss the topics which can be useful for your interview sections. Okay. Well, let us start the topics. These are all the topics we are discussing. Now, let us go over the first topic, that is basic data types in the Python section. Now, the first are the basic data types in the Python. Can you know the answer? Now, one more thing I would like to say you. While I'm discussing the topics and while I'm asking some questions, try to answer it by yourself. Okay? So that it will like you can prepare the Python interview questions. In the meanwhile, you can listen the class also. So use this one. Now, the first question is, what are the basic data types in the Python? The basic data types is, first one is integer, float, string, Boolean and the list. This can be considered as a basic data types, and we can say these are the primitive data types also. Primitive data types. Okay. The integer represents the whole numbers, float represents the decimal points, and the string represents the sequence of characters. Boolean represents only either true or false, and the list represents the ordered collection of the elements. Now, the most important point is, generally in the Python compiler will recognize the data types automatically. Okay, it can organize the data types. But if you are using at the prompt level, so what the integer, float, string, boolean in the list, you should have the idea. So these can be considered as the basic data types of the Python. Now, let us go for the next question. How do you convert a string into an integer in Python? Okay, we can convert anything like any data type into any data type. But here specially the question is, how can we convert a string into the integer? You can convert using the int function. So there is one special function which is called as int. So using this int function, we can convert a string into an integer. Now suppose for example, see this is here num and string is the variable. Here I am taking the value as 10. Now the basic need you should know is the string should be in the double quotation. Don't think that the 10 is a number. The character or the number, whatever the data which is inserted in these quotations is considered as a string at first. Okay. So string means not only the character, or string is not only collection of the characters. Anything which can be inserted in these two inverted quotations, then that is called as a string. So here num str is at 10 and this can be converted into using int and the variable name. So like this we can convert a string into an integer. Okay. Now the next question is, how do you check the data type of a variable in Python? Okay, let's check this question. You can use the type and the function. This is a special function to check a data type variable. Okay, suppose for example, there is a num equals to 10. Now here I have printed simply print type. Okay, so this type is here the 10 is the integer. So we get like a class int. Okay, like this we get the output. So we can check the data type of the variable in Python by using a special function which is called as type. Next one, what is the difference between list and the tuple in the Python? Okay, a list is a mutual, which means you can modify the elements. That means we can append the element, we can append the value, we can delete the value, which can be modified by the user very easily. But while is a tuple, that is immutable, that means elements cannot be changed after creation. Okay, that is the difference between list and tuple. In the list, after creation, we can change it by using some functions like append, delete, insert. Okay, but if you are using like a tuple, tuple means elements cannot be changed once it is created. That is the main difference. Next one, how do you create an empty dictionary in the Python? Okay, so you can create the empty dictionary by using dict, that is dict. This is a function, here we can use it. Otherwise, you can write like something within the braces, these two braces. This is called as the empty dictionary. Okay. Otherwise, you can use the predefined function that is dict. Both are equal, that is both are same, so that we can create an empty dictionary. Next. So the topic 2 we are discussing about the OOPS concept in the Python. Okay. Let me explain the OOPS concept at first. So OOPS concept is common for every programming language. It is started from the C++ onwards. Okay. OOPS means object-oriented programming structure. OOPS can be defined as object-oriented programming structure. Okay. Now, the OOPS concept can be considered as, that is categorized into 8 levels. First one is the class. Second one is the object. And this is common for every language. C++, Java, and even for the Python also. Okay. Third one is data abstraction, which can be hidden the data from the user. Next one is the data encapsulation. And Inheritance, of course, this inheritance has become as interfaces in the Java, but here inheritance, I'm saying the general concept of the OOPS, okay. Next one is the polymorphism and dynamic binding. These are generally OOPS concept. Dynamic binding, and then we can go for message communications. Okay. After inheritance, it may differ for the programming language, but generally we can say that these are the 8 concepts of the OOPS. Let us see the OOPS concepts in the Python for the interview sections. Okay. Now, let us go what is OOPS and how it can be implemented in the Python. What is OOPS and how it is implemented in the Python? Object-oriented programming language, it is a object representation in the real world entities, because if you are using the OOPS concept, entire program, entire variables are depend upon the object. So we can say that it is an object representation for the real world. In Python, OOPS is implemented to classes and objects. And classes can be said as blueprints of creating the objects, and objects are instances of the class. This is general thing for every OOPS concept, okay. But let me explain you one more definition on the point of the syntax. If we say class and it is a class name, okay, then a class is considered as, it is a OOPS, but for the class and object, a class is considered as data members and the member function. So we can say a class is a collection of data members and member functions. And these data members and member functions are depending upon one object, that is this object. So OOPS is completely a programming paradigm, and it is represented the real world entities. That is the special definition for the OOPS. Now there are 4 principles of the OOPS. Let us see what are the 4 principles in Python. So the 4 principles of the OOPS is, first one is the encapsulation, that is bundling the data and methods to operate in a single unit or a single class. Next one, inheritance, ability of creating, that is inheriting the properties of one class to the other class. So inheritance is nothing but we are deriving a new class depending upon the old class. That is inheritance. So the class inherits from the base class, that is the parent class, to the child class. Okay. So inheritance is ability of a class that inherit the properties and methods from the parent class. Next one, polymorphism. So the ability of an object for different forms but the same name. It behaves like a same context, but we give the different level of form names. Okay, that is polymorphism. And next one is the abstraction, that is representing the essential feature by hiding unnecessary details from the user. That is abstraction. These are the 4 principles of the OOPS, especially in Python. Okay. Next, what is the method of overloading in Python? So method overloading means giving the same name for multiple methods. Giving the same name for the multiple methods we can say as method overloading. That is writing the method names with the same name. That is called as method overloading. Here, if you write the same names but with a different parameters, it is no problem. But if you consider the same parameters and the same name of the method, then it is called as overloading. Okay. So method overloading in Python refers multiple methods with the same name but different parameters within a class. But Python does not support this overloading by default. It does not change the language like Java. Okay. But in the Java, we use the method overloading. In Python, we can have a similar effect, but using the different arguments or variable length of the arguments, we can use this concept of the method overloading. Okay. That means writing, suppose I'm writing a function like sum. Again, I can define another function of sum with different parameters. Suppose first method if you are defined using integer, and second method if you are defining using the float, but here the method names are same, then it is called as method overloading. That is the concept. Next is the method overriding. Of course, this method overloading and method overriding concepts came from the C++, and most probably it is used in the Java itself also. Okay. So method overloading refers the multiples method as a child class, and if it is already exists in the parent class with the same name and the same signature. Here, Overriding means using the same function from the different classes. If you're using different classes in the program, in every class, if you use the same method name, then it is called as method overriding. Okay. If you're using the same method for the different classes, then it's called as method overloading. But here it differs like a class also. The method in the child class overrides the method in the parent class. That is nothing but method overriding. Now, what is the difference of class method and the instance method in Python? So, a class method is a method and instance is the instance of the class. Okay. So, class method will become like a method bound to the class, but instance is not a method bound for the class. And a class is defined by using at class method and accessing on the class level of the variables. But in the instance, a bound of the instance can be accessed both instance and the class level of the variables. That is the difference between class method and instance method. Okay. Now we go for the third topic, that is string handling functions. Okay. For using the string handling functions, the most important thing is you need to import string. That is here importing the built-in modules. How do we concatenate two strings? Concatenating of the two strings is by using a plus operator, we can concatenate the two strings. No problem. That is without using the string function. How do you find the length of a string? For the example length of the string, we need to use the function len, and this function is used to find the length of a string in the Python. So this is the example. How can we find length of a string? Next, how do you convert a string into uppercase? For uppercase, there is a function like upper method. So we can go for upper. Okay. So string1 dot upper, then entire thing will be converted into upper. Sorry, it is something wrong here. Entire thing will be converted into upper like this. Next, how do you split a string into a list of substrings in Python? So a split can be used to divide, that is to divide the string. Here, the string example you see hello world is there. If you split on the basis of the comma, means instead of the spaces, it will provide the comma. Like this, we can split the strings into substrings. How do you check if a string contains a specific substring in a Python? For the specific substring in a Python, we need to go for suppose string, and is there the world in a string? So I'm checking directly whether the spelling, that is word, is there in the string or not. Like this, we can check by using the in operator. That is nothing but checking the strings of a specific substring in a Python. Now the next topic is control statements, functions in Python. So now control statements, generally we have different types of control statements like if else, for loop, while loop. It's a combination of break and continue. So control statements can be used to control the flow of execution, right? And these common control statements in the Python are if else, for loop, while loop, break and continue. Of course, there are many syntaxes in each topic, okay? But overall, that is, if we are organizing into a something like, then it will be like if else, for loop and the while loop. Break and continue will follows it. Now, how do we write the if statement in the Python? If else statement in the Python. The syntax for the if else statement is if and condition, else condition. So, else and here also condition. Next, how do you define a function in the Python? By defining a function, we have to write like def. Def is followed by any predefined function. So def followed by any name and followed by these parentheses, we can consider as the user-defined functions. Okay. Next question is, how do you pass the arguments to a function in the Python? To pass the arguments, here this is the parentheses. This is the place where we need to pass the arguments. Okay. Here def and greet name I'm writing here. So print hello and the name. Then we get the name into we are passing the name to the function. Like this, we can pass the arguments. How do you return a value from the function in Python? So, if you return a keyword or return a value from the function, then this is the way we can return the value or a function in the Python. Okay. Now, let's go for some special data types in the Python. What is a set in Python? These are the special data types. A set in Python is unordered collection of the unique elements. It is defined by using or followed by these parentheses. Or set constructor. Okay, using the set constructor also we can define some set in Python. So like this we can set. So here it is nothing but a list of the values we are going to insert into the variable like myset. Okay. So an unordered collection of a unique elements is considered as a set in Python. What is a dictionary in the Python? Dictionary in Python is unordered collection of the key value pairs. Okay. And this is also defined using these braces, or we can use a function like dict. Here in the set we can use a function like set. So this is the way how can we use the dict. Next, how do you access the values in a dictionary of a Python? Okay, so this is the way how can we implement, that is how can we organize the values. But to access the values, here we have to write like dict and these parentheses as followed to access the values. These parentheses as to follow to assign the values. Okay, this is common for everything, even for the set, list or dictionary. Next, what is a tuple in the Python? So tuple in the Python is a ordered one. Previous things what we discussed, there are completely unordered one, but here tuple is a ordered one. Tuple is an immutable collection of elements. It is defined by using the parentheses or a tuple constructor. Okay. Now what is a constructor? Generally a constructor can be done as a method name and the class name is same, then it is a constructor. Okay. So my tuple, that's why tuple is followed with these parentheses, okay, and it is a ordered parenthesis. How do you swap the values of two variables in the Python? Actually, I have discussed and I have said one program, that is in my short video, I have explained about swapping the values of the two variables. Let me explain it again. To swap the values, we can have using the third variable or without using the third variable. If you are using the third variable, then we have to take the value like temp. If you are not using the third variable, this is the process. How can we swap two values? Okay. So like this also we can swap the values. But specifically if they ask like to use the third variable, then you have to write T is equal to A is equal to B and B is equal to T. So this is using the third variable. If you are using this process without using the third variable. Okay. Let us go for some topics of lambda functions and list comprehensions. What is a lambda function in Python? So a function of anonymous function and it is defined by using a keyword of lambda. The typical is here, it can be used for the short or for the online functions, or sorry, for the one-line functions also. So square means a lambda, okay, here. Now instead of using the lambda and the square, we can go for square of the 3. Directly it will print the value of 9. Okay. So here x we are defining for as a function. Next, what is a list comprehension in Python? List comprehension is a way to create a list in the Python like this. So by writing within these parentheses, if you write something, if you pass some values or the variables, then this can be considered as a list. And you can go for the existing list also. It combines a new list with a loop, and even we can go for optional conditional statements also. That is a list comprehension in Python. Next, how do you filter the elements in using the list comprehensions? To filter the elements here, we have to go like, you can filter by using the list comprehension by adding a conditional or a conditional statement. So to add it, that is to go or to filter, you have to go for the conditional statement like this. Any conditional statement, we can filter the values or we can give the values of the list. Here, so in this example, suppose the number here we have taken like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and I want to filter on the like to get the even numbers. By using a condition here x modulus 2, I am filtering the values. So like this, we can filter the elements of a list by using some condition which can be given by the user. Can you have a multiple if conditions in list comprehensions? So you can have a multiple conditions on the list comprehension, that is by changing like and or operator. So this is the one example. How can we use multiple if conditions for a list? Okay. So this can be one example. Here I have used two conditions by following as AND operator or any OR operator also. That is any logical operator also. Okay. How do you create a dictionary using a list comprehensions in the Python? You can create by using these parentheses, that is these braces. So like this, we can use a dictionary list comprehensions using a Python values. So this is the class about today. We have discussed some basic concepts, of course, up to interview level. So I didn't discuss like topmost company interview questions. A basic level I have teach it today because this is the basic level interview point of view in the Python. In each topic, just for the sample, I have given some examples. You can follow that. Okay. In the basic data types, literally a basic data types and the most important data, that is special data types. For the conditional operator, in each conditional operator, go for different syntaxes. Okay. For the looping statements also, go for different syntaxes. That is very important. And coming to break and continue, just learn to make a difference between break and continue. And next, the concept is about the functions. Okay. And most probably, you may get the answer that is difference between list, dictionaries, okay, tuples. Go for the difference between and try to explain it with an example. So prepare for that with an example. And next one is about the functions and string functions. These are the basic levels we have discussed today. I will explain some more level of the interview questions in the next class. Okay. Thank you. చూసారు కదా క్లాస్ అంతా బేసిక్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ చూసుకున్నారు లూపింగ్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్ ఇంకా మనము ఏవి కూడా ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ లెవెల్ డిస్కస్ చేయలేదు ఓకే థియరిటికల్ గా జనరల్ గా ఇంటర్వ్యూలో ఏం అడుగుతారు అని చెప్పేసి డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం సో ప్రోగ్రామ్ లెవెల్ లో కూడా ఇంకొక ఇంటర్వ్యూ పార్ట్ మనం చేసుకుందాం ఇన్ ద పైథాన్ ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఓకే నౌ I hope you learned something from this video. If you learned something from this video, please like, share and subscribe. Especially ఈ క్లాసెస్ ని మీరు ఎవరైతే ఫైనల్ ఇయర్ స్టూడెంట్స్ అండ్ అవుట్గోన్ స్టూడెంట్స్ who are attending the interview section వాళ్ళకి షేర్ చేయండి and it will be very useful to them. Okay, thank you.